Hi, everybody. I hope you're all well. And although this may not be a very long video because I expect another power outage, I think you need to go grab yourselves a cup of sweet tea because you are going to need it. This video, if all goes well, is going to contain 3 revelations or exposés, which may just shake you up a little. And if I run out of time, it will turn into 2 videos. So let's start softly and lead you into the other 2 revelations. Remember me telling you that I was told by someone with a connection to another European royal family that if Charles bestows titles on the Harcourt children, there will be other royal families who won't be too pleased. Remember me saying that I could not understand the statement and that the person refused to elaborate or explain. Remember that? Some of you even tried to guess along with me in the comment section what it was all about. And now we know, don't we? On the 28th of September, just 2 days after I said what I said in that video, the Queen of Denmark issued a letter in which she declared that the titles of Prince and Princess for her second son, Joachim, and his descendants had been discontinued. In the letter, you will also see that it is made clear that only Prince Christian, the firstborn son of Crown Prince Frederick, will be the only one to receive an annuity from the state. Now, I'm reliably informed that there is concern among the royal families of Europe that the monarchies will be abolished in the future, that the populace will become more and more disillusioned and angry at the opulence, riches, and spending of the royals as life for the ordinary citizens become more difficult and expensive. And yes, some will say that these royal families are selfish and trying to cling onto their wealth. But my dears, it is more than that, far more. Those monarchies are part of their country's culture and traditions. One way of preserving culture, traditions, history, unity, and language is to preserve these monarchies. I'm told that this had been discussed among royal families the world over and wherever they exist. And the one way they can show their citizens that they are serious in cutting back on cost is to slim down their households and those who are receiving state funding. Yes, in a way they are calling it modernizing, but it is not so much modernizing as it is slimming down and cutting costs and spending in order to save these royal houses from extinction. So now we can all understand why my source said there will be ill feeling towards King Charles if he decides to not follow suit and make Archie and Lily a prince and princess. Remember, he was the one heading the pack for years, talking about slimming down the monarchy. Can you imagine what it would look like to these other royal families if he is the one who ends up not following through after they had all started to do so? So, to those journalists whom I currently have an issue with, and 1 or 2 of them know who they are, stop your narrative. Stop trying to gaslight and pressure King Charles through your manipulation tactics. If you keep this up, you will cost your country, its monarchy, its tradition, and culture, which was on such wonderful display during the Queen's funeral. And before I move away from this subject, one more thing. Don't be fooled by Harry and Meghan moving down on the royal website. It is not a demotion. It is just gaslighting and mind foolery. They have not been demoted. Harry is still fifth in line to the throne, only losing his princely title or his ducal title, or both, will be a demotion. Okay, guys, and now for the next revelation. Remember how Meghan closed down the TIG and her social media pages when she married Harry? Remember how Harry spoke out against social media? Then explain the following. Most of the 15 photographs I showed you yesterday are what is called in the industry outtakes. So let me quickly explain to you who, like me, was rather ignorant about it until I was educated about it a few days ago. Take a wedding photographer, for example. He or she will take numerous rolls of film or then a few memory cards to a wedding. He or she will click away and fill maybe 2 or 3 memory cards during the wedding and reception. After the event, they will go through it and discard all the mishaps like blurred photos, a thumb in the way, or someone who walked in front of the camera's ear. You know how it happens. After that, the photographer will sit down with the couple and they will choose the photographs they actually want to keep. Okay, it works the exact same way in the industry. A paparazzi or photographer will click away, go home and choose the best ones. Or if he wants his photographs to hit the headlines first, he will send it off to the agent or the publication he works for, and they will go through it, choose the best ones, and discard the rest. Obviously, millions of photographs taken of celebrities and royalty do not make it to the newspapers or magazines. Sometimes, if a photographer attended an event and he knows the celebrity, or if he was contracted by the celebrity, which means he was paid by them to take the photographs of them, these photographs will be handed to the celebrity or the person who paid them, all of them, good or bad, because he was contracted to take them, already paid for them, and thus cannot sell these pictures elsewhere after the fact. So there are all these different scenarios. However, getting back to the photographs I showed you, with the exception of 1 or 2, yes, I actually have more than those 15. All of these photographs are either candid shots or outtakes, with the exception of a few. None of these are actual press shots. Yes, you may recognize some of them because they were taken at an event of which pictures were published. Some of the photographs in my possession were even taken by members of the public, and a few are personal photographs taken at parties, at home, or at work. And I'm saying work in inverted commas. So, where did I get them? Well, firstly, I have to be honest and tell you that I didn't find them. Someone else did. Someone who is a brilliant mind, educated in more fields than most of us put together, someone who ran a type of analysis over a couple of platforms, and more than that, unfortunately, I cannot say. So the ones I showed you came off an Instagram page. So the question is, how did this person get hold of all of these outtakes or discarded photos, photos taken by the public, and private photographs to put them all together onto one page. There are only two options. One is the obvious, and it is Megan herself. And the other is that Megan has a seriously demented and obsessed stalker. Although the latter is not impossible, if it is the case, Meghan Markle has a serious problem. All you need to do is to look at the text under each photograph to realize this person is clearly unhealthily obsessed. Comments like, my heart, you mean everything to me, my beloved, my whole heart right here, and many similar exclamations. This is not normal. We all like or think we even love a celebrity, but no normal person would make such personal and such deeply touching comments on a public page belonging to a celebrity who is, in fact and reality, a stranger. However, now the question arises, how would even a stalker get hold of these outtakes, discarded photos, photos taken by the public, and personal or private photographs? One way would be if Megan knows this person and gives it to her. The page, this particular one, does indeed have 10,000 followers. Or this person works for Megan, maybe one of her PR personnel. I can't think of any other way this person can or could get hold of some of these photographs unless he or she is a hacker of some sort or works for an outlet or agent who do often store these outtakes and pictures. The public often try to sell them. The only other option is that it is Megan herself posting this and pretending to be a fan. There is no other way. But it gets even worse. My brilliant friend found at least two other pages over a variety of platforms with similar and worse content. Currently, we are analyzing three specific pages on social media, and there is one remarkable thing about these three pages. The one I showed you is all about loving Megan, how beautiful she is, etc., etc. The other one is all about Megan's and sometimes Harry's endeavors. And what is strange is that these things are announced on this page ahead of time, days, sometimes even a week or more ahead of time. And again, where would this person get this kind of insider information they are posting about? If not from the Harkles themselves. We are still analyzing, but have found a few lines even referring to how one or both of the Harkles are feeling about certain things or certain events. How? How does this person, if it is not Harry or Meghan themselves, know how they feel or think? If they are not mind readers, then they have to be told these things. The third account we are analyzing is one where the hatred for Catherine in particular is absolutely palpable, with a few other digs at other members of the royal family. Our analysis on this page is not complete, so I'm leaving it out of the equation for now. However, it is already clear that Harry and Meghan are not absent from social media. Whether they are sitting there typing and posting this stuff themselves, or whether they are paying someone to do so, be it an employee or a fan. Some of the things and photographs posted on the first page can only come from Meghan or her staff, and therefore either Meghan is active on social media herself or paying someone to maintain her presence on social media on her behalf. The fact remains, Meghan is active on social media and definitely has a hand in these posts. I personally don't buy that there is a seriously deranged fan who is also a hacker and also have the time to maintain a normal life and maintain and update these pages. So, in my opinion, this is Meghan herself or one of her staff who she is handing these things to. Okay, guys, now I'm sorry I wanted to bring you the third in this video, but guess what? The electricity had gone out. I'll have the inverter back by next week. Hopefully, it will then finally solve my internet problems. It needed a new battery as it was not used in ages by the person who gave it to us. Okay, so it's in to have the battery repaired or replaced, and hopefully when I get it back, it'll keep my internet on for an hour or two longer. So hang on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. There is a third revelation coming. If all goes well, you'll have it within the next hour or two or three. So until then, please take good care of yourselves. Bye.